Hi everyone, so today I have this new showcase from Tonic Studios to share with you. It is their Celebrate with Style presentation box die set. Their showcases are always really amazing, so super happy to try this out for you guys. I will say they did send sign free of charge for my review, and of course all opinions are my own, and the links I have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. So thank you for using those if you would like. I do have them for the US and the UK with Tonic. Very cool. I love this kind of thing because you can use it for all sorts of things. There's a way that you can make like a card to go in the box or just present, something beautiful that you put in the little, gift box, however it is. But let me give you a measurement so you know the largest die, so that'll work with whatever machine you have. To me, it looks like it's this one because this one's wider than this and also about the same height. So let's get a good measure metal to metal on this guy. It is 6 1/8. I would say 6 1/8 inch. Exactly from the metal to the metal over here, and the other direction it is right here 5 7/8. Okay, so just shy of 6 inches in the other direction. And then you have the other pieces. I do happen to have a printout that I just print out real quick, and so I get samples so they look like this, but yours will be well packaged with the inspo or info and all that, or both of them, instruction, all that kind of stuff. So I just want to show you kind of what we're looking at. So again, you can present things like this. You can have this be a card. I don't know if you can see they put it on a card base, so it has this beautiful thing. And then inside the box, so you have like this acetate. I mean, the box itself can just be lovely like that. You have a belly band, lots of different ways to use that. And then the instruction is going to look something like this. So of course, I'll walk you through everything, but this is some very, very basic instruction on creating your box and things. So having shown you that, because I was going to say, look, I mean, there's just a lot going on here, so let me turn it this way. So we have this piece that, again, can be, like a dome portion of the box or inside the box or however you want to work with that. You have beautiful inlays. They all look very floral over here. I'm trying to see what this is. So, like, you have that base die, and then you have this piece, right, like a matte layer. Then you have this one that makes its own layer, it looks like, so I can feel like the cutting edge all around here. It's not sharp, it's just up, right? Higher than the other things. It's not an inlay. This one also looks like it makes its own layer. And then you can pair it with this one to make like a frame, or just this matte layer on top of that one, or however. Let's see, it says, let me see if I can make out what it says over here. I hope all your wishes come true is what that one says right here. And that it does die cut. It's an inlay for this guy. And then you have embossed layers, so if you don't want to do the inlay, maybe you want to do a little embossing. That always looks really nice on metallic and pearlescent papers. All the papers, but it pops more on those kinds of things, right? These beautiful little inlays. These pieces help you with your box, so we'll talk about that in a moment when we go to put it together. You have matte layer pieces. You don't have to do inlays, right? You can do the matte layers, and if you have some pretty paper you want to showcase with that. Again, this could definitely be a card front or card topper, or just for the box. So you have that main die. Then you have this piece. Sorry if you can see there's another piece here. That one is an inlay with this one if you want to work those together. If you run them all through together with this one, then you're going to have a frame, but then this piece falls out. Or you have this piece that's its own matte layer with the beautiful embossing in it. And then you have this layer that's also a matte layer. And you can pair it with this or with this other one. They look like they are interchangeable. So basically this die right here is a matte layer, but this one is also a matte layer with little dots, right? And it says Celebrate with Style. So really pretty. Let me give you a measurement. You can imagine, but like if you're just wanting this for a card, it is like 5 5/8. I'm looking at the matte layer of this one here. By 4 3/8 almost. So a bit of a larger card, right? So let me grab some cardstock, and I'll come up with what it is I want to do with my box today, and I'll be right back. Okay, so today I'm going to use cream colors for my main box, and then we'll accent with some pretty paper and maybe some gold accents, those kinds of things. I'm just debating what I want to do. Let's make the main box, and then we'll go from there. I don't know if I want to make a card that goes inside or how I want to do that, but let's go ahead and grab this guy. So we need 2 of this for your box, and then we need 2 of these side panels. This one, that is for the very main box, so that's going to be very simple. We'll put that together. And you also need these guys, and you can make it the same color. This basically helps so that the panel doesn't kind of fall back through. It just kind of supports the box being open, So let me show you here. they're just here and here. So if you want to have a decorative color or just leave it the same color of, you know, the box like they did here, you can definitely do that. So I'll probably just do that. I'll run through the cream. So we need 2 of those. So 2 of each of these things, and I'll be right back. I do have my base pieces now. I was thinking if you want it to be, you know, something you're gonna look through like with the acetate, you can definitely run this guy through. And also maybe place whichever aperture you're gonna want, like if it's this one, you know, or the larger one, whatever it is that you want to do. And you don't need this one there, but what I'm saying is you need to have that lined up. Now, if you're going to use some pattern paper also and do like a matte layer, maybe you want to stick that down before you run it through so that it's all the same, which I think would be lovely. So maybe we do that. Let me see. I just want it to all run through the same place. I'm trying to think if I want to do something like this or not. Yeah, we could do that. Okay, I'm gonna run this through some pretty paper. Maybe just a pretty color, I don't know. I haven't really thought about what I was gonna do. So let me go ahead and run this through some paper, of course tape so it doesn't move, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have this gorgeous paper. I just went with this deeper burgundy kind of, well, deep red color. This happens to be Tonic Craft Perfect paper. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and stick this down. Or you don't have to stick it, I mean, you can just place it, but I think I need to stick it down. And then I'm going to run it through all together so that this goes through both layers. Okay, so that it's nice and perfect where we want it. I suppose if you wanted to, you can inlay the... Yeah, you know what? I think I'm not going to glue it down yet. What I think I'm going to do is inlay the acetate between this layer and this layer. So what I'm going to do is just tape this for now. So we're going to have that. Sometimes your tape wants to take away, you know, the paper a little bit. So I'm going to put this tape towards the inside. And I'm going to tape just a little bit here and here, nicely centered, so I know it doesn't move. And I will be right back. So I did not glue that down, I just taped it, run it through. As I'm working with this, I mean, there is so much you can do with this set. I mean, it has the belly band. I mean, you can attach even your matte layer on top to the belly band, like the oval, you know, that has your sentiment or however. Just a lot of fun ways to use this set. So let me clean up just a little bit. We're going to, I'll grab some acetate in the meantime and we'll sandwich that before we start putting things together. Okay, that popped right out. So I was just very careful to put that on there. Okay. So now I can go ahead and see, that's what I was talking about. Sometimes your tape wants to tear. We're going to have to cover that somehow. I'll work it out. Let me take this one off very carefully. I'll be right back. Okay, so that second one, I was just more careful. Okay, I have some acetate here, and actually it was from some packaging, and I don't know, they just never took the other coating off, so I just left it there, but you don't have to do this. And also, since we have the dies, you can definitely cut this to the shape that you need, because I'm going to sandwich it in between, so I do want it to be just about the same size. And I am totally eyeballing this, guys, but you can definitely run the die through. That would be the best way to do it. Of course, I'm just kind of boop, boop, there, that'll be there. No one's going to see it anyway. This is some very thick acetate too. That's why it comes with the plastic coating. I don't know if you've ever had really great quality acetate like that. That's how it arrives. Covered up a little bit. So this is junk now, but I'll still keep this piece because sometimes, you know, I'll do something where there's like a little something floating in the background or whatever, and I just pop it up on a little something. And let me take the coating off of this. I'll find somewhere I can pick it off and I'll be right back. I want to show you what that looks like. It looks like that. Okay. Ooh, this gave it an inlay, like embossed look. That's funny. Now let's see. I'm gonna put this on here. It's a little schmutz on there. Let me clean that up real quick. Sorry. Let's get this guy going. Over on top of that, plenty of glue. Of course, across this whole thing. A little glue here and there. And again, I'm just going to pop that right down there so we're all lined up. Yeah, it looks great. I'll hold that down and I will be right back. Okay, while I'm waiting for that to set up, I'm going to go ahead and I want to do a little frame around here. See how it looks very kind of plain. And I think I'll use this inlay one. You're probably not going to see it because I'm going to use some pattern paper anyway, but I'm going to take this guy and pair it with this guy and run it through some paper so that way I have the frame, that'll go in there, a little oval. I have my Twinkling Traditions. I think that's what I'm going to use today. So let me grab something. Ooh, that wood color is very fun. I mean, it has a beautiful tag there. Maybe I was just going to use the regular, pattern paper for that. Let me see. What are the little dots? Maybe this guy. A little plaid. It's kind of interesting now. Okay, so let's do a little plaid. So again, I'm going to run this and this together so I have this oval here. And again, tape those down so they don't move. And I will be right back. I'm just going to cut that down. Okay. Got this guy. And you can see a little bit of that embossing. So it looks really nice. And I'm just going to glue that down. And then we can start. I'm thinking about maybe doing some matte layers also before we actually put it all together right now that it's flat. A lot of times I work on this after, I decorate it after I put it together. But this one, I feel like since the panels are so large and all that, maybe it's better to decorate them while they're flat here. So I will be right back. Oh, I was going to say, for that little piece where I kind of tore, all I did was put a little glue and just flattened it back down and it looks like it's going to stay nicely. This looks really cool already. It looks so nice and sturdy inside. Okay, let me choose the papers I'm going to do for these side panels. Okay, I guess I'm making this Christmassy. I wasn't really planning on that, but we have these pieces and I have this paper that's in that paper pack and I think this would be really cute if we cut it in strips so that it just goes across everything. So like this way, right? So we need that one, I believe. Again, this is for the belly band. If you're going to do a belly band, you just cut 2 of those and then you have the matte layers and all you do is glue them together with the glue tabs and it'll just go around the whole thing, which would be lovely. But now I'm using that one and this guy. And I'm going to cut them in a way that goes like this so that when we put them on, they'll be around the edges, kind of framing out like that. Maybe this here, just to save a little paper. And then another strip. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay guys, so just cut those down. And so I'm just going to glue on this side, you see there, right? And then these guys, however you want, because this is going to be down in here like this. So if your paper has a certain direction, just keep that in mind. But I'm going to glue that on there, and same thing for these other 2. Say again, if your paper has a direction as you're creating this, this is going to come up on this side, so you can go ahead and score things and just have an idea of like if this is up here, maybe this goes this way, right? And I guess you can kind of have that in mind. Again, that's kind of why I always decorate afterwards, because then I know where everything is and the directions and all that. So it's up to you. This guy, you're not going to put any glue on this glue tab, but you are going to leave it there. It kind of helps, again, when this closes up, it's just there as support. If you want to cut it off, I suppose that's up to you, but you might want to leave that there. So I'm going to go ahead and score these guys. Just as I'm going along, I'm thinking, man, maybe this is better if I know what I'm doing here as far as where everything goes. And so this, other piece, sorry, I didn't get it out of here. It's going to go along this edge, right? So just keep that in mind. And this is going to be glued like that, and it's going to come up this way. So just, again, wherever, and this one's going to be glued on this side, coming up this way. So just mind that whenever you're gluing everything down. Oopsie. I was going to take the lid off that. The lid is already off. Okay. And I will be right back. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue these guys together. So again, this is just the back, one for the back, and then we have these pieces. And so we're just going to glue these guys down. I always put glue right up to the very little corner edge because you really want that to match up nicely. If you know what you're going to be doing, you know, you can have all that cut already, but what I'm going to do, I think, is line the inside and then use one of my dies with some of the sentiments that come in this paper pack. Just cut one out since I am going Christmas with it. This is so cute already. I love it. Oh my gosh. And you can definitely make this into a box and just close it up if you wanted, you know, kind of play with these pieces. I think you're going to be able to do quite a bit of different styles with it. Okay, so again, like I said, we're not gluing this down, okay? Like that. You don't have to do that right now. I mean, there's just so much you can do. Okay, so this guy, we need to glue down here, and then we're going to glue it into the box shape, right? So generally I would just go ahead and pop these on. And I usually just kind of stick them down, then always take a look and make sure it's right on the edge where it needs to be. And, oops, I need to do it a little higher. There we go. Looks lovely. And same thing with this bottom one. I'm just going to make sure that it's lined up real nice before we do the glue tabs on the very sides and bring those guys up. But again, right in here. And again, just kind of give it a press. And I like to use wet glue because unless you tear it, it's not going anywhere. But if you like double-sided adhesive, you know, go for that. Okay, I'm gonna let that set up for just a minute before I come in and glue these guys into our shape. That is so nice. While that's setting up though, I will run this die through that same red paper, just bring some of that down in there. And then I have this piece that I had cut into before, and I have this cute tag, and I'm like, you know what? Let's use this guy. And I'm just gonna run it through so I can cut this guy like that-ish. I want the whole bow in there. That's why I went with this size and not like one of the smaller ones. So like that. I think that looks good. I'm gonna run that through. Get this with some of that red paper, and I will be right back. It was so funny. I just cut this, and it was like just the smallest amount. Look at that, and it worked out perfectly. So that's great. And I'm just going to glue these two pieces together, okay? Right in the center. Okay, guys, so we have this, and we could have definitely run this through this to echo, you know, because you are going to open the box, right? But I just went with the red matte layer, so lots of ways to play with this guy. And I'm going to put this right in here. And I'm probably going to take a pause because my yearly palm tree trimming is in effect right now. So the gardeners just showed up for that. And it can get pretty loud, guys. So let me see. I'm just trying to cover this up. And, you know, and center it, which I think would look really lovely. Yep, that's pretty good right there. A little bit crooked. Hold on. Try to. I'm like, that's great. And then I noticed it's a little bit off. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to let that set in there. And then we'll just glue these glue tabs in just a moment. Okay, guys, so let's go ahead and get these glue tabs glued in. And that's going to make the box shape. So it'll just be a 3D item at that point there. A little glue there, a little glue here. And then I'll do the same thing, of course, on the other side. Bring these guys together, and I always look to the edges and the corners just to have a really nice put together project so that everything matches up nicely. There we go. And I'll do the exact same thing on the other side, but I'm just holding it for a minute. And then over here. This one I'm kind of just holding with the pressure of my hands. Obviously you can put your hand in here, but I feel like this is nice and tight, so I don't want to mess with it too much. But if you put your hand in there and just hold that down, and then same glue tabs on the other side. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, look how pretty. And I mean, it's pretty much staying closed in my opinion, but if you want to do the belly band, you can definitely do a belly band. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But you're supposed to also put these guys on here to kind of help from the door falling in, but I don't think I really have that issue. But either way, I'm just going to fold it there. And I'm going to glue it to this inside flap. And let me just see if that's what they're recommending. I was just putting it there. Oh, actually, they did recommend placing it on there before you put it all together. But there you go. So, something to think about. Sorry, guys. I went ahead and did my decorating before we did that. And that's kind of where my mind was. So, I'm going to push this way. I don't want to tear that open because right now the glue is still a little bit wet. And I'm just going to put glue on the non-decorated side. There's one side that has like that little decoration there. And basically you're just going to place this here. And I'll just hold it right to the edge. Right? And this guy over here. So I'm going to let that set up. And I'll probably go ahead and make a belly band. So let me pop this on here. Those are pretty center. This one might need to move over a little bit, but that's alright. I think there we go. I was gonna say if I have a little bit of, I didn't really push it down too well, so there we go. I was able to move that. Look at that, it looks really nice. And the belly band, I know I explained it earlier, but I guess we will go ahead and try that out. So I'm just trying to think if I want to use a pattern paper or just the inlay paper. We'll see. I'll either come back with a little strip of the pattern paper or something with the inlays cut in. Excuse me, sorry, I was just debating if I should do pattern paper or a beautiful inlay. We have these for the inlays for this guy. These belong to this piece, okay? So these other pieces here. We will see. So I'll run this through the cream color paper. We need 2 of them. And then we'll see about this portion. Okay, so we have these. I'm going to go ahead and score the glue tabs. And then glue down my pieces, which of course I'm just going to clean them out. And I went with these little inlays because the flower looks kind of poinsettia-ish to me, so I thought that would be really sweet for this guy. So again, one there, one on this other one, clean this out, and also glue this down along this side. Okay, so yeah, I did dip that on my hand with a little glue to get those fine areas covered in glue. So we're just going to glue these guys together. I'm going to give that a second. Before I move on, just close it up maybe. These should be symmetrical, so you should be able to just flatten it out and hold it down that way too. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna let that set up before we try her out. I'll be right back. Okay guys, so we have this beautiful piece and oh, a little bit there. I will give you a measurement on the box. Actually, let's talk about that before we move on. The box itself is 4 5/8 by, I would say 5 3/4, and about 1 1/8 deep. So you can kind of judge what kinds of cards. If you want to make a separate card, or like I said, the kit will make a card for you. You can include that, or just make a card that's the size that you need for this. This is the first time going on here, so I just want to make sure I'm not catching anything. See, I was catching that. There we go. Very pretty. And the reason I did my little sentiment on the side is, like, let's say you put your gift and then, you know, it's on top, you can see a little bit in there, and then when the gift is out, the box itself is still looking really pretty. You have this band here, and I think I'm going to pop something on top of this. It's going to get covered up, but oh well. I was thinking about making a little bow. I guess we can put it on the side. I have this twine. The green's pretty too, and the red is also pretty. We have a little green on the sides that we didn't really bring back. Maybe, let me unwind some of this a little bit. Yeah, we can go with the green. It's kind of, there we go. Okay, so let's make a finger bow. And so we start off with our 2 fingers here. Just put it over the top, leaving a little bit here for the tails. Go up and over your index finger, over and around the middle finger, and again, and one more time. So we'll have 3. When we get here, actually, let's do one more. So you have 3. What's going to essentially be 3. You have 3 here. Just going to cut this, leaving yourself a good amount to kind of work with, because what you're going to do with this guy is bring it over across everything you have in between your fingers, right? Up and over. Push it through. Bring it around, and then you just made this little bar here. You're going to go up under that bar that you made and pull it tight. Okay, and that's how you make a finger bow. I do have a video just on that if you need it slower, but that's it. And then you can cut this. I think I'm going to put it to the side. Yeah, let's do that. I was going to put it right in the center, which also looks cute, but over here somewhere is alright. Also, you can mess with the bow. I didn't really do anything to change it, but let me go this way. Yeah. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay guys, so just an idea of using this kit. There's so much you can do with it. I'm going to slide this off of here, and I'm being kind of careful and kind of weird about it because I just glued that bow down and I know it's going to fall off any moment. And there's our box. Alright guys, well thanks for watching. I will have images coming up. I'll have the links as available for the US and the UK in the description box. Thank you so much, Tonic Studios, for sending these items for review, or these items, excuse me. And I'll see you all at the next one. Bye now.